What up, guys? Welcome to the JustPearlyThings YouTube channel and welcome to my reaction videos. So today I am going to be reacting to speeches from the RNC from a more red-pilled perspective. So I recently saw this clip on Twitter, and the clip on Twitter was the VP's wife talking about it. Now, if you guys didn't know, Vance is President Trump's nominee for vice president. And a lot of Republicans were really I guess surprised that he was the pick because I guess he was a never Trumper at one point. You know, what I was more interested in was the relationship dynamics between him and his wife. And it was interesting to see his wife because she was Ivy League educated, seemed very accomplished, and that seems to be what the politician class goes for. Is it because they're in the same circles or because that's something they select for? I don't know. It could be either. It's just a pattern I've noticed. But a lot of people were calling me a hater because I watched the speech that his wife did for him, and my conclusion was that his wife is just not that into him. Everyone said, Pearl, you're jealous. Pearl, you're just a hater. But I want you guys to see where I'm coming from and why I came to that conclusion. And by the way, I reserve the right to be wrong. You know, I don't know. This is just my take.
Good evening. When I was asked to introduce my husband, JD Vance, to all of you, I was at a loss. What could I say that hasn't already been said before? After all, the man was already the subject of a Ron Howard movie.
So I want to give the positives first. This is a classy woman, right? She's wearing a classy outfit. She's well-spoken. You can tell she's intelligent. So this isn't meant to be a hater video, you know. Classy chick.
JD has shared much of his life through his own eloquent words. In his book, Hillbilly Elegy, during his Senate campaign, and now as a sitting United States Senator. It occurred to me that there was only one thing to do: to explain from the heart why I love and admire JD and stand here beside him today, and why he will make a great Vice President of the United States.
And by the way, ladies, look at this. She can't be over 120 pounds. You want to marry a politician? Look at you. You don't see one fat wife up there. You won't see one. I don't know. These chicks, you know what I mean?
I met JD in law school when he was fresh out of Ohio State, which he attended with the support of the GI Bill. We were friends first because, who wouldn't want to be friends with JD?
Okay. So that's red flag number one. Women that friend zone guys are just not that into them. Typically, what that means, if she friend zones you, she's looking for a better option and she couldn't get the better option, so she went with you. The women, they'll never say this, but unless he friend zoned her, that's typically what happens.
Was then, as now, the most interesting person I knew. A working class guy who had overcome childhood traumas that I could barely fathom to end up at Yale Law School. A tough Marine who had served in Iraq, but whose idea of a good time was playing with puppies and watching the movie Babe. The most determined person I knew with one overriding ambition: to become a husband and a father, and to build the kind of tight-knit family that he had longed for as.
So the unfortunate thing about women is when men make family the center of their universe, it causes the woman to be put on a pedestal. What I've seen is men that prioritize their mission in life, they just tend to have better marriages long-term in 2024. It used to be different, like 50 years ago, but it's the modern age.
My background is very different from JD's. I grew up in San Diego in a middle-class community with 2 loving parents, both immigrants from India, and a wonderful sister. That JD and I could meet at all, let alone fall in love and marry, is a testament to this great country. It is also a testament to JD, and it tells you something about who he is. When JD met me, he approached our differences with curiosity and enthusiasm. He wanted to know everything about me, where I came from, what my life had been like. Although he's a meat and potatoes kind of guy, he adapted to my vegetarian diet.
Okay, that's a red flag. Guys, when a woman wants to be with you, I'm telling you, they go through hell and high water. There's women that get on 20-hour flights to meet one guy that they're into. Usually, if he's adapting to her lifestyle, they get divorced later. It's much better when the woman adapts to his lifestyle. This is just my take, take it or leave it.
And learned to cook food from my mother, Indian food. Before I knew it, he had become an integral part of my family, a person I could not imagine living without. The JD I knew then is the same JD you see today, except for that beard. And his goals in this new role are the same that he has pursued for our family: to keep people safe, to create opportunities, to build a better life, and to solve problems with an open mind. It's safe to say that neither JD nor I expected to find ourselves in this position, but it's hard to imagine a more powerful example of the American dream. A boy from Middletown, Ohio.
What's amazing to me is how much shit JD talked for years. Trump's so powerful. He's like, guys, forget about that. Forget. Okay, just shh. He's my VP now. And now, now I want to remember, there's one comment section. I'll show you guys.
Raised by his grandmother through tough times, chosen to help lead our country through some of its greatest challenges. I am grateful to all of you for the trust you have placed in him and in our family. And with that, it is my great privilege to introduce my husband and the next Vice President of the United States, JD Vance.
All right, so if I had to guess, I don't think they'd ever divorce because politicians, there's just too much money involved. Hold on, let me get this. There's a comment I wanted to read. There's just too much money involved with politicians. They just don't divorce like that. They'll stay together even with mistresses, side chicks, whatever. It's just a different world. But I just don't get the vibe that she's that into him. I think she made the speech a little bit too much about herself. I think I just think women that want to be with a guy and they really will go through hell and high, when they have genuine desire for a guy, they'll learn what he likes. They'll move to where he wants. That the relationship is on his terms, and the way she was talking, the relationship's on her terms. And as you guys know, I just think there's an order in the world. I think it goes God, men, women, children, and when women lead relationships. Some women, YouTube guidelines, some women, not all, but oftentimes when women lead relationships, we just lead it to destruction. Then you look at the names of their kids, and they're all Indian names. So again, then you look at their names of their kids, they're all Indian names. So whose terms is the relationship on? His or hers? Let me find the comment. There was one comment I wanted to read. Oh, yeah, here we go. She presents as self-absorbed and disrespectful. The man, his idea of my background is very different. Yeah, and by the way, this is all subconscious. I don't think women, like, we consciously realize this, but there's just little patterns in our communication where you can tell whose terms the relationship is on. When JD met me, not when I met him, he adapted to he learned to cook for my mother, an integral part of my family. You know, she's talking about her and not him. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That beard. And that's the other thing. You notice, like, passive aggressive, making fun of the guy, bad sign. So my 2 cents, I would deem them as probably won't divorce because they're politicians, but I just don't think she likes him that much. But let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you next time.